boy, play next Tuesday.
Get the agenda out. The Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Steve Pedersen,
Here.
council members Dave Dillon,
Here.
Lindsey Larson. Here. Norris Johnson, Corey Pedersen.
Here.
I'll entertain a motion for approval of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion, any changes? We can't have any changes because it's a special meeting, so we have to go from there. I'll entertain a motion on ordinance number 470, the continuation of the local emergency.
So moved. Second.
On that discussion, I just want to bring up some numbers that I looked at the state today. Because I think we're gonna have to do something and set up a committee and meet with the businesses because of the new guidelines that came out from the governor on what is it, the number of the
96,
huh?
2096.
Yeah, 2096. That there's some regulations in there, and I talked to a couple of the restaurant owners, and there's some regulations in there that we don't know how we're gonna police it, that they have to set up a plan. So I'd like to have another council member, myself and Tammy, take and meet with the restaurant owners and invite them into a meeting here and sit down. Because I know a couple of them were gonna call Quinn today. Did anybody call you, Tammy?
No.
Okay. The Legion, after the thing last night, I talked to him and he's under the understanding they can still use their bar, you know, around the bar, but underneath all the regulations, it ain't. So I think we have to sit down with the businesses and take and discuss it with them, so. Yeah, Quinn, did you get a call?
I did, and then I actually was related to the
Yeah.
whole part with sitting at a bar or a counter.
Yeah,
And just so you're aware, I got clarification from someone with the state.
okay,
So the confusion was that that specific guidance or guideline was not actually written out in the executive order, but they linked to MDH's website for any guidance. And according to who I talked to with the Department of Public Safety, he had said that basically anything that the MDH is putting out as guidance should be included as if it's written out in the executive orders, and that they could still be fined under the criminal fines, even if it's not within the executive order.
so I think we have to sit down, and that's what I was saying before you walked in. I think we have to sit down with those businesses people and see how we're gonna regulate it and go from there.
Because it can be confusing.
It's very confusing.
I had earlier had one conversation that after talking to the state, I called them back just to clarify that what I believed before was incorrect, so
Yeah.
I could give them the correct.
So I think sometime next week, yourself, Tammy, and I, and if one of the council members wanna sit in on it, should do it. And I don't think we have to have a motion to it, I just think we call it. So is there any council member that would like to sit in on it, or just leave it up to Tammy, Quinn and myself to meet with them? And then report back,
Yeah, I think that's adequate.
huh?
I think the less amount of people that you get in a group setting is gonna save us all
Okay,
from COVID potential with the risk.
so we'll try to set up come up with a list of who all can be on, should be on it and go from there. And do it sometime next week, prior to our council meeting. So either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or Thursday during the day, if that works out. So, okay, from there, then another thing I'd like to bring up, and at some point, and I want you to think about this for next Thursday. So far, looking at the statistics today, 201,795 cases in Minnesota. Of those, 16,856 are hospital workers or healthcare workers. Not just hospitals, but nursing homes and that. There were 39 deaths yesterday. 14 of them were private, 23 were assisted living, 1 a group home, and 1 homeless. Between the weeks of 10/30 in the last 2 weeks, we've had 374 deaths. 26, that's an average of 26.7. Then the thing that's interesting, Mille Lacs County has 934 cases, but the 56353 zip code, because you can look at it, back on October 22nd, we started off with 182 at the 53653 zip code. That week we added 43. The next week on 10/29 we added 58. So we went up to 225. Then that week, Thursday, because that's when they give the report, we added 58 and went up to 283. And then on 11/5, last Thursday, we added 73 between now, and we're up to 356 cases here in the 563 zip code. And that's quite a few cases, so I think as a council, we're gonna have to do something. So those are just my comments on this emergency thing. So any other discussion on the emergency? And we have an motion, but will you include in that motion to disregard the first reading of it? Who made the motion? Sandra?
Was that
Dave
me?
made the motion, Cory
Yes.
seconded.
Yeah,
So you're wanting to suspend the first reading?
yeah.
Okay.
So we're voting on suspending the first reading. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All in favor of, any more discussion on, that passes. Any more discussion on the ordinance? All in favor, say aye.
You
Aye.
need a motion
Oh,
for,
we already had a motion. They just added that as a friendly. I didn't get the first reading in it, so it'll be the same people making the motion. They just added that would be the friendly. Everybody said aye to that?
Yes.
Motion passes. Resolution 2064 summarizing,
Pete, I
what?
need you to back up for just a minute.
What?
You need the final motion to adopt the ordinance.
Okay, well, we had that on the floor, so, okay, that's fine.
So I need a motion to pass the
Okay,
I'll make the
ordinance.
motion.
I'll second.
Lindsay, Dave Dillon,
any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Resolution 2064, summarized publication of ordinance 470. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Approving COVID-19 Relief Fund grant application for payments to businesses and individuals. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Okay. What's the difference between the CARE Act funding submittal of expenditures? Is that city expenditures under F?
And that's all of them, including these.
So what are we approving? Are there two different ones?
You have to approve these economic relief ones separate.
Oh, okay,
but
okay. So that is it the time of putting on what is left to spend and putting that door back on? Because I disagree with the letter we got, because I don't know who MAI is that is sending this letter out. Because if I look over all the stuff that I've been looking over tons of, there's nothing in this stuff that indicates that you cannot, that you have to wait for the installation. There's no way you can tell me that other towns are taking and not doing some construction on a project after the 15th. That is.
The only thing I'm gonna caution you is you're taking the risk that if our auditors find that it was an ineligible expense, they will note it in our financials. The state auditor will then also take a look at our audit, which could red flag us for a state audit.
But if you look in the CARE support document, the one in July in 2020, there is nothing that even indicates it. They go over the three things that can, and they even have in here that you can set aside for future costs and impacts on page 3 of that. Proposed outline for CARE dollars, set aside. Future costs and impacts. It's right there. And the other thing that's in there that's interesting is to cover all staff costs that are being tracked COVID related. Mm-hmm. And it's also in there that the government expenses incurred prior to July 1st or after December 30th, 2020. You know? And there's just so much in there. I can't believe anybody is taking and not using that money on construction. We got the doors bought. They're supposed to be installed on the 16th.
They're still in
Huh?
production. They're still in production.
Well, we already got the invoice on them. We've already took the action from the council. So you can't tell me that other cities aren't doing work. So I'd like to add that back in.
But isn't this that's saying that we can't from the Minnesota COVID Response Accountability Office? I mean, I don't know how much more
That's pretty
legit we can
clear.
get.
Well, just now Quinn said it was wrong, you know, the intent. Because if you read this, and who is this gal that says, thanks, Maria? And
That's
first of all,
Minnesota Management and Budget.
okay, but what's her title?
I don't know what her title is.
She puts no title on it. So was it the person, because that's the day that I tried to do the WebNet, and you didn't listen to the WebNet.
No,
and I couldn't get on. I just can't believe this.
Well, council has to make that call.
So if nobody wants to go along with that, because, you know, we had this all ready to go and Tammy and I had agreed upon it, and then all of a sudden I get this again. So, or we just take what money is left over and we can use it for police salary.
Correct. That would be the safer route, because it's truly an eligible expense.
And that truly eligible expense, because then, if we use that, then our next year budget levy can be lowered. Because this is one of the ways that we were gonna lower the budget. So if you guys are okay with using whatever's left over for, the police, or any health safety, then I'm okay with that.
That's a clean eligibility expense.
Yes, it
That
is.
we're, yeah, I'm more comfortable with that. I agree with you, Pete. I think it's crazy that we can't do this paid for. I agree 100%, but I really struggle with getting a response from the accountability office from the state.
But
I'm sure
if
they
it's
don't.
anybody that has any position at the state, it would have been a title after that.
Well, I'm sure it's not made up. I mean, it's a
No, but
legit deal.
it'd be like me sitting down there as a secretary answering these questions and saying, thanks, Pete, you know?
Mhm. But that's kind of how this whole game has been played.
I know.
I mean, it's
But you
a
can't,
moving target.
Let's just be safe.
Yeah.
And just,
okay,
put it to the public safety.
then we'll just move it to the public safety. So you're gonna add that when we,
Yep.
To the thing.
Yeah, so the remaining
Okay.
amount to go over to the public.
because I've been researching, I've been making calls to other mayors, and there are other people that are using their money, you know. And I'll bet you the county has projects going on that aren't gonna be completely done before. Anyway, moving on. So, what you want is this list of individuals and businesses, correct?
Yep, and then you're gonna do the remaining amount.
So did we do any changes other than, two individuals?
There was only 3 additions, the bottom 3 additions. There were,
No, I've never seen the 600 one.
Yeah, that was on the other one. That was in the packet.
Oh, in the packet, but I never seen that application that you had given me.
right, these all came in afterwards.
Yeah, and we didn't meet on it, so, okay, because I haven't seen the applications on those. And they all, we did have one that we did refuse because he wasn't, living here at the time it started. And the address had to be that, so. And all those other ones fit all the criteria? Tammy?
Yeah, there could be some that, may get called back, but we'll just have to,
So now, is that resolution written up? Do we have to amend it to use it for the police?
no, the resolution is revised to this. But
So-
we have to revise it to the police for the,
So we have to amend it.
yeah, so
No.
the remaining amount would be to the police, public safety.
So we did have, so I'm asking for an motion for the amendment that the leftover money go to public safety.
I make a motion that the remaining balance goes to public safety.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. That is the amendment. Now for the whole amended, any discussion on the motion as amended? Okay, so now we're voting on the whole motion and the resolution, Tammy.
Gotcha.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
So we amended it, but who made the motion and who seconded for the resolution?
That you had prior.
That is the amended, okay, gotcha.
You had that, so we did the amendment and then we
Cory
did,
and Lindsay.
huh?
Got it.
Okay, that takes care of that. Resolution 2065, accepting CARE Act funding and submittal of COVID-19 expenditures. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion on that? What are we gonna do with dollars that come up between now?
This is the final, that's done.
See, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It has to stop somewhere, we can't just keep going on. The deadline is the 15th, that's Sunday.
But you can spend the money up till the 30th of December.
No, you can't spend anything after the 15th.
That's not all,
Yeah, that's why the foundation one has to be in by tonight.
oh, okay, okay. And then, okay. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Resolution 2066, canvassing the general election. I'll entertain a motion.
And I did give you a revised one here, and minor changes under Trent Bergeron. Otherwise, they are submitted from the county and canvassed
Okay.
from the county.
Is this one of the ones I gotta sign, or is that also in
It's in the
here?
packet.
Huh?
It's in the regular packet.
Okay.
the signature.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Who was the motion and who was the second?
That's what I was wondering. I think we had one.
There was.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. New business. I asked that the hospital be put under new business. I did find all the stuff from the hospital board and went through it. I think, once again, we have to get the community involved. And I want to get a committee together of community members to go over some of this. A little history on it. Fairview took over the lease on the August 1st of 1986. And did you give everybody some of, oh, that was out of the book. Lease on August 1st of 86. And the hospital board dissolved March 6th of 2012. And the money that was left over out of that, in the resolution, the money went to the Rum River Community Foundation and the Initiative Foundation. Plus, in the resolution, it was to go to the Fairview Heart things at the clinic up here. But in the final thing, it ended up going down for a waiting room down at the hospital. The purchase agreement, and they terminated the lease on September 11, 2012. And at that time, it was dissolved. And there's different things in some of the agreements of what can be done with it after they resolve it. It has to be, according to what I looked at, and I want Damien to look at it more before we go into what is supposed to happen to that building afterwards. Because there's two different things in there. So rather than making a statement till I have Damien look at it, I would rather not make a statement. But I'd like the okay for, once again, same thing as we just did on, we have to get the community involved in getting surveys out and how, because I'm getting calls still on it. So I'd like to get a committee of interesting citizens around to look at it. What are your ideas, Tammy, on that?
As far as getting the community involved,
Yeah, I think we have to get a committee, and I'm not getting answers back from Fairview, and I see that they had, nurses down there kind of did a walkout, you know,
okay.
down at Fairview last week or something. There was something on the news about it.
We could certainly put something on our website, you know, get involved regarding the Fairview Clinic.
And if they want to be part of it, we should set up a date to meet with,
First you gotta get the people,
yeah,
then set up a,
And don't we need the legal structure, I mean, don't we need to find out what's happening first?
yeah.
I mean, it's their building, is it
Yeah.
gonna be our building, can we?
but it's not only what happens to the building, it's how the citizens of Malacca are gonna get their health care. You know, should we be looking at other options?
Okay, yeah, that's a different.
That's what I want the committee to do.
Okay,
Look at other options of, hey, how would you like to do, because I've had people already tell me that they're going other directions, you know? And I think we have, as a council, have to make sure that our citizens have the best health care that they can, and transportation to those health care, you know? So, should we try to set up a meeting of interesting people sometime?
Well, let's get that out there first to see if we can get some people involved,
Okay,
yeah, and then set up the meeting,
okay.
yeah,
And then, see how many respond to it.
yeah.
And then we'll make a, see what we can do by next Thursday. You know, of getting some type of meeting going. By that time, Damien should be able to look over this here.
Right.
So, anyway, that's the last thing I have is, so that's what we'll do, and we'll put it on the agenda for next Thursday. And Rich, thanks for showing up.
No, I was just trying
No, you seen it, not thanks for showing up.
to,
And I'll let Tammy put your name down on that thing first,
okay,
because you spoke last week, so.
yeah.
Any other comments? Motion to adjourn?
Make motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Adjourn. I told Corey you gotta be out of here by 5 o'clock. Because you guys got a game tonight. And it, just